Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's nice to meet you. My name is Nina. And I don't know about you, but I am already very excited for spring. All things spring, but specifically spring fashion. I'm definitely a winter girl at heart. I love winter and I love winter fashion, but I feel like once we near the end of February and go into like March and April, I'm definitely just looking forward to spring fashion. I'm on the Pinterest boards. I'm like collecting inspiration for the spring season. So today I thought we could talk about spring fashion, but specifically trends from New York Fashion Week that I'm excited about incorporating into my spring wardrobe. If you don't know, New York Fashion Week just happened this month in February, and it was a week of a lot of stunning runway shows, and I definitely saw some key things reoccurring across all of the shows that I'm very excited about styling for the spring season this year. And so I thought I could go over a few of those key trends that I saw and how I will be styling them or incorporating them generally into my spring wardrobe. So I'd say the biggest overarching trends that I took away from New York Fashion Week this year are A, monochrome outfits, and then B, what I'm going to call office chic, which I think has been apparent in fashion weeks for a while now, but it definitely stood out to me this year. And so I'm gonna talk about monochrome and office chic like hand in hand. So I was seeing a lot of these like office style outfits in monochromatic tones. So like all black, all gray, or all white is what I saw. So definitely like neutral tones. And what I mean by office chic is clothing items or outfits that you could literally wear to the office that are traditionally associated with like office wear, but definitely not boring and like elevated, so like styled very intricately. So I saw, a lot of coats, like a lot of trench coats, regular coats, blazers, collared dress shirts, and then of course a lot of suits. And suits on both men and women. And I'm gonna call out suits on women because I think it's just such an easy way to look very put together, just like a matching suit set. And that can be your traditional like pants and like vest or blazer, or it can be what I saw is a skirt suit. So the blazer with the matching like like tailored midi skirt is super cute, and I think definitely like a big nod to 90s fashion in New York City, where women were definitely dressing for the office. But there's just some sort of like special quality to office wear in the 90s. I think that is so special now looking back. It's definitely all in the way that this office wear is styled. So I think another key thing to call out for these like office wear, office chic outfits is that there's an emphasis on very tailored clothing, which I think naturally comes with clothing that you'd wear to the office. So more of like a masculine look for sure. You want like structured shoulders, tailored pants, items like that. So definitely like overall a very highly tailored and structured look, which I always love. Fashion weeks do masculinity so well for men and women's clothing. So I think it's fun to kind of tap into that more masculine side when you're dressing like office chic. I will call out the skirt suit, which I think is a nice like feminine spin on office wear and something that was more popular in the 90s and is definitely like making its comeback. Like I mentioned, it's like the matching blazer and skirt set, which honestly, I love that this is in and it's going to be in because this is something you can 100% thrift and find like the cutest pieces just like at the thrift store. A lot of brands that I tend to find in the thrift store are like Vintage, Ann Taylor, or like Ralph Lauren, brands that do blazers very well. And there's just such a big selection usually when you go to the thrift store and look for these kinds of items. So I think it's a very thriftable trend, which is always great, of course. And so personally, the way that I'm excited to style this like office chic look is not necessarily having that matching skirt suit or like a matching suit, because personally I feel like it's very formal for day-to-day wear. Like obviously if you're going into an office, then that's totally appropriate, but I personally want to make that look a little bit more casual. And so what I think I'm gonna go for is getting like a nice structured dress and then wearing a blazer in a similar color or tone over that. And I think it's just super perfect for springtime. I'm thinking like a tailored white dress with like a white blazer or like a cream tan blazer. Very 90s, very like 90s rom-com look, and I think very wearable as well. It kind of makes this trend that we're seeing a bit more casual and just wearable. Another way that I think I'm going to style this trend, so I saw this one look from the Calvin Klein runway show. It's monochromatic white, and the model is wearing like a blazer, suit pants, and then a Mary Jane, all white. I think that's just so beautiful for spring, the monochromatic white, just going all in. I know that it can be a bit impractical to wear all white. It's definitely a statement if you do that. So I personally don't have those pieces in my wardrobe in white, but I have all of those pieces in black. So I have a black blazer, suit pants, and then the black Mary Janes. I think that's a bit more wearable. Like black, just it's easier to stay clean in that color. And so I think I'm going to try that outfit in the springtime. So like a monochromatic black office chic look. Another option if you don't want to fully commit to like a monochromatic look is trying a monotonal look. So that's basically having all the pieces of your outfit be like similar tones, maybe not necessarily the same exact color. So for example, I have these pants that I got last year that I think are just perfect for the spring because of their off-white color. One way that I want to try styling them this spring is with a sweater in this kind of like oat light brown color, just because those two colors go well together and tonally they pair very nicely. So that would be a really pretty outfit. And then just matching my pants with my shoes. So I do have this pair of kitten heels that are this, I'd say like almost the same color as the pants. So adding those to the outfit, it's like dipping your toe into the monochromatic trend without having to like wear a fully white outfit, because I know that that can be intimidating. Monochromatic is definitely like an intimidating trend, even if you are working with neutrals. So I think adding in some pieces that might be like a similar tone but aren't exactly the same color are nice options to have. So that's what I'm going to do this spring. The next trend that I noticed and personally loved is a preference for midi-length coats over full-length coats. So I'm 100% a full-length coat girl. I just feel like a full-length trench coat, full-length wool coat just looks very luxurious, and I love that look. But I think something that I loved and saw at New York Fashion Week was the midi-length coat. Works very well for springtime because the full-length coat to me feels very fall, winter, because it is very luxurious and heavy and it covers you up. And it has that sort of cozy, luxurious feel to it. Whereas the midi coat definitely feels a lot more fresh, a lot more lightweight. And that's kind of, I feel like the vibe I'm going for when I am dressing for springtime. It's just like new season, freshening up, lightening up. And so I love the midi coats. I saw lots of midi trenches and just lots of like midi wool coats. I went online and I found a few midi coats that I loved. One is from Mango, I believe, and I don't know, there's just something really cute and youthful about that crop of coat. I specifically am loving midi coats in this oat color. That color is just so nice for spring, and then when you combine it with the cropped coat, I just think it's perfect. So that's a more specific clothing item that I was seeing on the runway that I'm very excited to hopefully incorporate into my wardrobe if I can find one that I like. With this type of coat, I think the key and what I saw on the runway is that it is very boxy and there's like no cinching at the waist. It's definitely like a boxy silhouette. I think that's what makes it so charming in that length. If you cinch the waist with a midi length coat, I feel like it just looks like the types of coats I was wearing in like middle school and high school, and it's not very flattering. If you're going to cinch the waist, I feel like going full length just looks so much better. If you have this like boxy, kind of like girlish fit, it works really well with this length. So that's specifically like the style of coat that I'm looking for this spring. Next, I'm going to talk about a few fabrics that I was seeing on the runway that I just love and I don't have a lot of in my wardrobe, but I'm excited to incorporate. The first fabric is chiffon slash silk. I will include some pictures of what I saw on the runway so you can get an idea of this fabric, but it is just so beautiful. I think it's the most beautiful fabric I've ever seen. The only time I've seen this fabric is for wedding dresses, but I love the idea of incorporating it into just like regular everyday pieces. Again, I feel like this is a fabric that we saw a lot in the 90s. It's just super feminine, super sexy, and perfect for spring. It's literally like you're wearing a flower. I recently just watched And Just Like That, which is the Sex and the City reboot. And I developed like a deep love for the skirts that Carrie wears in the reboot, but also in the original show. She has a lot of these like, what I would say are like midi-length to maxi-length skirts in like either a chiffon or a tulle fabric. And they're just very like feminine. And I don't have any skirts like that in my wardrobe. I have a lot of like very simple satin slip skirts, which I wear all the time. I've learned over time that I love a midi maxi skirt, but I'm super excited to incorporate skirts in this like chiffon and silk material. Again, I feel like if you can thrift this material, it's the best because the quality is just there from when it was really in the 90s. I recently thrifted this, I believe it's a Ralph Lauren chiffon silk skirt, and it's stunning. It's just like this perfect blush pink color that I don't really have in my wardrobe, but I think it's perfect for spring. I'm very excited to figure out how I'm going to style that. My natural tendency is to style it with like a dress shirt, but I feel like I could style it with like a simple white tee or even a tank when it's a little warmer. I don't know, I just feel like there's lots of options for styling these, and I think these look just like the best with a ballet flat or a little kitten heel. It's just fully leaning into the femininity of spring, which I personally love. And I thought it was interesting that we're seeing like super feminine clothing items and materials, and then also super masculine in like the office wear and the more tailored clothing items that we saw. I also think this material for a dress shirt is really nice. I actually already have a dress shirt in this like silk material that I basically always pull out for springtime. This material screams spring, and so it's just like an easy thing to do. Another fabric that I saw quite a bit on the runway is lace, and obviously this is like another standout material for spring. I saw a lot of like sheer lace dresses and skirts, which I think are stunning. Again, when I think of this material, I immediately want like a maxi dress in a lace pattern or an embroidered pattern. I think that would just be absolutely stunning for the springtime. A maxi white skirt with an embroidered floral pattern I think is stunning and something that I've definitely put on my list. I'm definitely feeling a lot of more like fun maxi skirts, so in like chiffon, in lace, embroidered, and then just pairing it with like a white tee on top and a ballet flat to dress it down. That sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm kind of seeing that reflected on the runway. And then the last fabric slash material that I saw a lot was like this crochet slash knit material. Again, I think just makes a lot of sense for spring, especially if you have it in a white color. I already personally have a lot of shirts in this knit material, and I always wear them in the springtime with like a satin slip skirt or even jeans and ballet flats. It's like a very easy way to look very elevated and intentional with a pretty simple outfit. So like jeans and a white tee, except the white tee is this knit material, adds a very feminine touch and feels very intentional. So I think if you can get like tops in this material, it's an easy way to make your spring wardrobe a little bit more exciting. Even a dress in this material I think would be really cute if you like a kind of like more skin tight silhouette. Okay, so those are just a few of the things that I saw on the runway at New York Fashion Week that I absolutely loved and I think are exciting trends that we'll be seeing this spring. I'm curious to hear if there are any trends that you guys have seen and are excited to personally incorporate into your wardrobes. Yeah, I'm very excited to be making more spring content and freshening it up a little bit. It's never too early to start planning, I think. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.